Yes, I am still alive. And as this bulk comes to an end, I'm going to run through my 4,600-ish calorie full day of eating. Are we even straight? I don't even know if we're straight. Anyway, yeah, full day of eating along with a push day walkthrough, and I'll give you a little update on me in case anyone cares. And you know what? If you've never met a dickhead, you certainly have now, which we'll get into in a minute. Okay, here we go. First meal, we've got a Dolce Gusto flat white coffee. We've got 25 grams of peanut butter, banana, bagel, 300 ml of orange juice. Then we've got another coffee going in, a cappuccino. Then we've got 2 wraps along with 1 packet of peri peri rice, 165 grams of chicken. Pre-workout, part 2. I've then got a muffin and a pre-workout drink. You can use my code PWBRAD, that'll get you 40% off at Protein World. And then yes, as you can see, we are training push, and I'm not training alone for once. I'm with Big Scotty. Scotty is my PT client, but he's way more than that. He's a good mate of mine. An absolute ledge. So yeah, we were training push, and the first movement, after obviously spending plenty of time warming up, we have this Nautilus shoulder press. So it's going to be 2 working sets. I got a bit excited, did 3. That is why I shouldn't train with people. Peer pressure, shocking. Yeah, so first set, stack and a plate, then stack and a 10, and then just a stack. Just kind of descending in load and then ascending in reps. So as you can see with my setup here, I'm kind of, well, I definitely have. I've shifted my hips forward, which treats this more like a high incline press. And I'm not doing this really just to bias that upper pec. It's more just because when I had my hips further back, it just felt very awkward. So I'm actually going to play around with this, because if I can get set up in a position with my hips further back, I will, because my chest, obviously we want to kind of grow everywhere, but I want more delt and not necessarily more chest. So I'll have a play around with that, but pretty decent machine. It's something I'd probably normally do as a second press, because obviously that diverging kind of motion, it does drop off quite nicely, but because my delt's a priority, it is the first press. So let's just pretend I did 2 sets here rather than 3. And after this, Scott's got his lovely glutes in the way of the camera. What a legend. Get in there, Scotty. Then we're into a lateral raise. Oh yeah, this is where I've got to explain that I'm a complete dickhead. So as you can see in the video, I'm mic'd up. However, I tested that the mic was working. It was. And then somehow it didn't work after. I don't get it. So I was just talking to the camera for like an hour and a half, and it got none of it. So that was absolutely brilliant. So yeah, anyway, next movement, again, because I want more delt, went into a machine lateral. I haven't been able to do these for a while beforehand because of the neck pain, because of the shoulder issue. But now it's actually okay, which is great. So 3 working sets there, 3 sets of like 12 to 15. I like this kind of with that chest support, kind of standardise my position, doesn't kind of let me move around too much. I don't personally hold on to the handles because I get a better connection when I think about just driving my elbows out and not holding anything, really making, you know, a fist, squeezing tight. That kind of takes, you know, pressure off my elbows. And, you know, I feel like when you don't make that fist, it sounds weird, but you can run into like shoulder issues as well. I think it's very important to actually grip things, even if you've got nothing in your hands. I think it makes a big difference. But I really think about, yeah, just scraping my knuckles across the wall and trying to basically maximize the distance between my head and my shoulder when I come outwards. So yeah, 3 sets there. Then I went into the first horizontal press, which is this Watson slight incline press, pin loaded, which is great. I don't have to lug plates around, and you know what, it's a pretty decent machine. You'll see with my press here, I got 10 reps there, which is a rep up, but it's definitely like 2 more reps there. And I get to that point in the set where if I take it any further, I feel like my shoulder is going to blow up, and this is what I'm talking to Scott about there. And same with this set, I took the same load, did 9 reps, and you can see that as I just die very quickly in the set, whereas if I don't have that issue, you know, I can take that set a lot further. But as long as things are progressing, even if I can't take things to complete muscular failure, you know, like I said, as long as things are progressing, it's, you know, things are moving forward. So it is frustrating, but it is what it is. So 2 sets there with the same load, like 10 and a 9. And then I tried this Jim Lecco press, and it just felt a bit crap, to be honest. It's a great machine, but for me, with what I've got going on, not ideal. So I don't actually know what press I'm going to do next week. It might be the Nautilus one again, I'm not sure. So with this, I'm doing a single pec fly. For me personally, I wouldn't normally do this if I didn't have a shoulder issue. When I concentrate one pec at a time, I don't get the shoulder pain. So that's why I'm doing it. Otherwise, I wouldn't. But if you are someone that struggles to connect with your pecs, it could be worth a go. Personally, I get a wicked connection doing this. I just think about, just making sure I get a good stretch when I come across, just making sure my elbow comes right across the midline, getting a big squeeze on the pec, and, just taking them partials at the end of the set. So just 2 sets there, relatively high rep range. And then I just finish off on some triceps. So just 2 sets with a push down, and then 2 sets with a skull crusher. And that is push done. So I've got a bit of homework to do to think about what I'm going to do for that third press. I might not even add one. I might just keep it as the shoulder press and that Watson press, the fly. That's probably going to be enough. Yeah, we'll see. But I don't know, should we do an update on me? I've gave you half of one, and I'm probably going to repeat myself in a minute when I film this next clip that I've already filmed. Whatever. Cool. Oh, yeah, this is how I'm looking post-push. Before we go over the next couple of meals, I'm going to be really selfish and do a very brief update on me. So it's not that selfish because I'm keeping it really brief because I don't know if anyone cares. So I am 18 kilos up from like January 2023. So for the last, 2 and a bit years, I've been pushing up. It's not just been a consistent surplus. It's been like pushing up, holding, but with no deficits. It'll be interesting to see where I'm at, how much muscle I've built. I'll upload a physique update in the next video. But yeah, I think I've built a bit of muscle despite kind of the troubles I've had with shoulder instability. I do think I've probably gained, well, it's hard to quantify. Let's just see. I think I've built a little bit. Fat loss starts next week on Monday. The goal is obviously to be quite aggressive initially and then taper off that rate of loss and just preserve all or as much muscle as possible. This time round with my diet, I'm going to prioritise having more fats because I think I dropped my fats a little bit too low last time at the back end of the diet, so I won't make that mistake again. And other than that, I'm going to get a blood test this week just to see where my testosterone levels are at, because on my last diet, yeah, my testosterone plummeted to 1 nmol per litre, which was really rough. And although that is quite normal when you're getting really lean, I stayed there for quite a while and I managed to get it up, but it was still at the low end of normal. So it'll be interesting to see what it is now when obviously body fat levels are higher. I feel like I'm obviously completely recovered. It would be good to see kind of where that baseline number is. I can't remember if I spoke about shoulder instability. Did I? I don't think I have. Last couple of years I've had shoulder instability, which I've now found out in the last couple of months is stemming from my hips. I've got limited hip internal rotation, so up that kinetic chain, it's basically just pulling me forward, so I'm struggling to get into a more externally rotated position to, be able to press efficiently. It's hard to kind of obviously do any pulling movements as well. Obviously affects my leg training a little bit, so I'm working around that, but at least now I know what the issue is. The last couple of months I've been able to train a bit better. So post-workout meal, we've got 120 grams of cereal. I've got these new scales as well, like high precision ones, so to 0.1 of a gram. Probably unnecessary, but I don't know, I just fancy buying them. You'd think I was a drug dealer. I'm not, I'm just weighing creatine and pre-workout. Toffee cheesecake flavour, you know the drill, PW Brad for 40% off. Also, so this used to be a little bit later on in the day, but I don't really fancy eating it later on in the day anymore. It's a decent time for me to have these when my appetite's high after training. So there's 40 grams of dates, 35 grams of almonds. I wouldn't normally have fats in my post-workout, but to be honest, as long as I hit my total, macro goals for the day, that is the main thing. Once we've got the whey shaked up, bosh that in there. So as you can see, I'm making my way through the almonds and dates. And I've also got, as part of my post-workout temporarily, to conclude this gaining phase for some extra calories, we've got this Explosade from Aldi. So you'd think the goal is diabetes, wouldn't you, looking at this? But it's not. We're just trying to make a few more gains. A couple of hours have been, and it's time for the next meal. It's just gone 7:30. So what we've got is an absolute belter. We'll start off with easy stuff first. 2 pieces of garlic bread, okay? And with that has to come some pasta. So we've got 170 grams raw weight, 5% beef mince. Everything I weigh is always raw weight, never cooked weight. So yeah, that 125 grams of pasta. We've got 100 grams of peas, 200 grams of pasta sauce. We've got 40 grams of half-fat cheese. I think that's it. That is it. About half an hour after that meal, we have this bowl of goodness. What we've got is 25 grams of 85% dark chocolate. We've got 100 grams of berries consisting of strawberries or raspberries. Also, what we've got is 300 ml of apple juice. And that will conclude this day of eating. Beautiful. Total calories for the day, we've got 4,539. 669 grams coming from carbs, 104 grams coming from fats, and 223 grams from protein. That is a full day of eating on a training day. I have a couple of templates which I rotate round, like a few different foods just to keep me, I don't know, just give me a bit of flexibility whilst eating a lot of food to make it a bit more sustainable, let's say. So if you want to see me diet over the next, I'm going to Mexico in 8 weeks. So 8 weeks diet break, finish the job off, and that's it. If you want to see that, yeah, I guess just watch my next video. I'm going to go. I'm going to West Ham tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Thursday. We're getting relegated, aren't we, Leicester? It's not good at all. It's bad times for Leicester City. Don't know what relevance that is, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, please. Subscribe if you want. See you later.